You may notice that I'm building a builder now. I'll switch that over. But basically, I'm re-recording here because uh, I had to flip my camera around. I noticed that when I'm looking up to the right, I was looking up to the left on my recording. So I've switched it around, and I think words are backwards on my hat now. Uh, I think it's going to be better though, so that when I'm saying something about the interface on the top right, it looks more like I'm looking up there on the recording, even if it is turned around as far as right and left being mixed up. So just remember, I'm right handed, but really kind of ambidextrous. This might be important information. Also, the words are not backwards on my hat in real life. So, what I've done here is I just restarted that last turn and switched my production over. We're only on turn two. Okay, I decided if I'm gonna try to get Stonehenge, probably rather than a scout right away, I should get a builder out. I'm gonna get a scout, but I'm gonna get the money to get a scout, and I'll probably have 120 pretty quickly, especially since I'm fighting goody huts and such. At least that's my hope. Okay. Uh, what the builder will do for me, even if I can't improve any tiles because I don't have any technology, if I get that out of the way, I will have it in case I need to rush Stonehenge. Uh, and I'm gonna rush Stonehenge some. Stonehenge is very difficult to get, and let's say it takes me 12 turns to find a natural wonder. Um, excuse me, fixing the camera. If it takes me 12 turns to find a natural wonder, which is more than half of the research time, so I'll have lost some turns in the optimal of finding a natural wonder. Uh, then I'll be able to cut down some trees or some jungle. Well, some trees. I won't have the technology for cutting down jungle, but I don't have any jungle in my city. I do have trees that can be cut down. In fact, the trees that are in my city are, in the end, all going to be cut down. You can build things where the trees are after you get the technology to cut down trees. Here's my recommendation: have a builder on standby with one build left. And rather than drop a district right on a tree, switch to something that you know you're going to build in the future in the city center. Put the builder on trees, chop down the trees, get that extra production towards whatever you're building. Switch, and then the turn after that, put your city district where you want it. Okay, so let's say I wanted to build a commercial hub, and I would build that on a river because I'll be getting monetary bonuses from the river. Rivers increasing trade. I would take a worker, put him out here, and cut down the trees manually rather than just plopping the city district, the commerce district, on that and wasting that extra production. So I can't really switch to anything right now because I have no technology to build buildings in my city center. But an example that will be happening here soon is that's probably how I will finish my granary. I won't spend the entire time constructing the granary. I'll be cutting down some trees to help that out. And I may switch out of the granary to build something else out and plop it in sometime in the future. That production will stay there towards the granary. If you built a building 3/4 of the way, if you didn't leave it forever, so that it totally falls into disrepair of the construction site. You know, you could come back a few years later and finish up the building. Okay, is basically the concept that I'm trying to get across here. But also, I figure I'm going to get mining, probably get mining first. Well, it depends on what happens with my borders here, and that's something I wanted to talk about. You'll see my my city manager is using my culture to grow here. That's what that pink is. It says 2 turns until border growth. Unfortunately, I have no control over that. I can't tell him, yeah, go over here and expand the border because we're going to want that stone for Stonehenge, you meat bag. No, can't tell him to do that. So I don't know what he's going to work on after the border grows here in 2 turns. Hopefully, it will be a stone, but the city manager seems to like to go get the luxury resources first. I have another one within my, you know, within close proximity, so he'll probably get the wine next. So when we're done with astrology, I will have to make the decision whether I want mining or animal husbandry, which will get me the cattle. Okay? And I will choose which of those two I'm going to research depending upon where my borders are at the time. Okay? I would prefer to have the stone first because that'll give me a nice production bonus, a nice industrial production bonus in my city. But if the border isn't expanded, I'm not going to buy the stone tile. I'm just going to research animal husbandry, use my builder to increase my production by building a pasture there, which won't be as much as building a quarry, but it will be some. And then when my border expands, I'll send the builder back out and get me a quarry. And a builder gives you 3 builds as a default builder. Some civilizations might have more. With some technologies, with some government policies, with some wonders, you can get more default builds for your builder. But my builder will come out with 3 builds. I'm going to build a quarry. I'm going to build that pasture, and I'm going to cut down one of these trees, all to assist with Stonehenge. There is also the consideration of, for example, craftsmanship. If I improve 3 tiles, I will get the boost towards craftsmanship. The question is, the question is, right. The problem is, I won't be doing that. Okay, I won't get that boost until I build a second builder because I am going to use one of these trees to assist in the production of Stonehenge. We're going to need, okay, I'm just role playing here. We're going to need the logs to drag them big old rocks over. Okay, that's not really the case. When you cut down the forest, it adds production to your city. Okay, think of it as having a whole bunch of surplus wood laying around to assist in production versus having a lumber mill over time that gives you a little bit of wood over time. We're going to clear that woods out, cut down everything, and use it all. So that gives you a boost on your industrial production. However, quarry is an improvement. Pasture is an improvement. Cutting down a woods is not an improvement, so I won't have 3 improvements. I'll only have 2. I will need to buy a new builder in order to make the 3rd improvement. I don't see that getting that boost towards craftsmanship is really worth not getting that extra bonus from cutting that forest down. And I'm going to cut all this forest down anyway. Okay, it's going away. I might as well use it on a wonder rather than something like a granary. Okay, because this wonder especially is time sensitive. Everybody can build a wonder, but only one person can get it. All right, let's get out of our purchase tile screen. My warrior's out of moves. We're moving on to turn 3 with my new production. Okay, let's take that. Alright, so what happened there? What did we get from that tribal village? There was a little 40 gold thing that popped up. And you'll see our gold is now 60 gold. Some of the tribal village bonuses, you will get a message such as a Eureka for technology. It will pop up a dialogue. Things like faith, gold, culture, science boosts. It will simply do a little floating number thing and just add it to your total of what you've got. Okay. What else doesn't? Oh, experience gains. You'll get a little message over here. Your unit could gain experience. You'll get a little message over here. 9 times out of 10, your unit will get a promotion. So you'll know that you got the experience gain from the tribal village. Nothing bad comes out of tribal villages. It used to be that way in older civilizations. If you played it, you could end up getting surrounded by, well, in this case, with the new, well, in the old case too, you could end up getting surrounded by 6 barbarians, and you're like, oh shit, right? And 9 times out of 10, you lose your scouting unit. Well, they took out that extreme fail situation in Civilization 6. If anybody's ever got it, please message me. Okay, I've never got anything bad out of a tribal village yet. Okay, so things I didn't really want, but nothing bad like barbarians popping up. Okay, in the old civilizations, you could actually lose the game. Tribal village that close, if 6 barbarians came out, they will overrun your city. Okay, so we're fortunate that we don't have that anymore. We got 65 gold. We need 120.
It would seem we have finally tracked the barbarian raiders plaguing these lands to their source. We must destroy the stronghold or risk future attacks.
Okay, our cute little advisor there with the big doe eyes is telling us that we found the Barbarian Outpost, and that we need to destroy it. The deal with Barbarian Outpost is that they will spawn new barbarians over time. Okay, so the longer it sits there and you don't destroy it, then barbarians will keep coming out and be a plague upon your civilization. There's 2 schools of thought, and I use both schools of thought in my play. Okay? Some I will destroy immediately, especially if I know that it's within 4 tiles of horse. Note, there's a horse right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Well, I've learned through experience that type of outpost, that outpost right there, okay, will do a really strange thing. Within 3 turns, it will spawn 2 horsemen and a horse archer. Okay. That is a substantial barbarian force. And if you have improvements on your tiles, which I plan on doing here soon, you really need to defend them, or you gotta repair them. Which means you need another builder to repair them. Okay. Barbarian horsemen and horse archers love to pillage. They just love it. That's what they're born to do. Okay. Plus, a barbarian horseman is substantially stronger unit than my little warrior unit there. Okay, in fact, that spearman in the outpost is a stronger unit than my warrior. Um, I have the advantage over barbarians in that the only way a barbarian can heal is by pillaging an improvement. Okay? They can't just sit there and heal like my units can. So the advantage is that I can heal even where I'm standing out there in neutral territory. Uh, I will actually heal 10 hit points per turn if I don't move. This guy, he can't heal unless he goes and pillages an improvement. So I can wait. I have the benefit of time on my side. I can stop attacking for a turn, just not do anything, skip my turn, and my guy will heal up. Also, on that same note, that's why the two horsemen and the horse archer are such a threat, because if they know where your city is, they'll beeline it right to your city. When you damage them, they will pillage and heal themselves. Okay? And as I said, my warrior is substantially less powerful than a horseman. A barbarian horseman versus my warrior standing on a plains or even fortified on that plains will die versus a barbarian horseman. And you'll find the horsemen and the horse archers are very aggressive. So this outpost, I don't want to sit there for any amount of time. Okay, anything that's close to a horse, I'm not going to let sit there. Okay. However, second school of thought. Okay, maybe when I have enough military units, which I do not now, so I'm going to take care of this outpost, which kind of messes up my strategy of finding this natural wonder. But I consider this outpost a real threat, especially since I'm building a builder and going to improve early. The second school of thought, however, is leave the outpost and let your military guys get experience by killing the barbarians coming. You know, stay within your city, guarding your improvements, and gain experience fighting barbarians, which is a good strategy and will rank up your guys pretty good. Okay? I, however, am not going to use that strategy because I'm going to build Stonehenge. I want to use this builder without the threat of these horsemen, horse archers, or any other barbarians coming over and pillaging my improvements. So the outpost has to go.
It is best to use caution when moving close to enemy units. Doing so will often force the unit to be in the enemy's zone of control, restricting its movement.
Right, so zone of control is a concept, okay? And basically it says that you don't get all your movement when you're right next to an enemy unit, okay? You have to move a little more carefully, okay? Some units, such as cavalry and naval raider class units, will ignore a zone of control. Ranged and bombard class units do not exert a zone of control, except there is a promotion for ranged units that allow them to have a zone of control. But normally they don't exert a zone of control. So the zone of control is mostly on melee class units. Have it when you're next to a melee class unit, you'll be within their zone of control and it will limit your movement. Okay?